Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm taking a first impressions look at NieR Automata, or Automata if you prefer, which I have already put a decent amount of time into, about 10 or 11 hours, but most of that has been side quests because I foolishly started doing a bunch of side quests before I unlocked the fast travel, not realizing there would be such a useful fast travel. So I'm pretty early in the story here, if people are worried about spoilers, though it seems odd to be worried about spoilers for a game that came out a year ago, and yet be watching videos from said game. But I've managed to avoid spoiling anything for myself with this game, despite the fact that quite a few people were talking about it when it came out. And I've actually had this since the day it came out. It's been sitting in my Steam library, but I'm only now playing it. So I got a bit of catching up to do. Alright, so I guess we'll just go do the story thing I'm supposed to do right now. Let me check if we can do any upgrades. Doesn't look like... oh, I could do upgrades there. I don't even use this thing, but... it's usually worth doing most of the upgrades. Alright, so let's head out into the transporter here. I will say right off the bat, this game has very good music, and this is one of the better tracks too. Especially once the vocals kick in, but we're not going to hear that right now because we're going to head out to the forest. So, if you're not familiar with this game, the basic gist of it, at least the kind of frontal story they give you, is that aliens invaded the Earth, and they made a bunch of machines, and humanity has been forced off of the planet and are now living on the moon. And we are androids who are operating off of space stations orbiting the planet, who come down and try to kill all the machines, which has not worked out in the last like 200 years, because there are still plenty of machines. And going by what happens even in the early hours of this game, these androids really don't know very much about the machines that they're fighting even after all this time. But I'm actually supposed to be out here looking for a group of machines who are not connected to the machine network, but unlike the other machines who are not connected to the network, they are hostile to everyone outside of their kingdom that they are apparently building. So we're looking for the Machine Forest King. So I never played the original NieR, but I have read enough of what happens in it to have some idea of what's going on here. And I am curious if these ruins you find are from the type of people from NieR, or if these are the ruins from the civilization from before the original NieR. Okay, I got a camera shift here. This happens a lot in this game, where you'll get all sorts of camera shifts that will change the gameplay type, whether it becomes a top-down sort of thing or a 2D side-scroller like it is here. And let me switch to my other weapon set. You can have two sets of two weapons equipped at a time, one equipped to your heavy and one equipped to your light. However, there isn't any specific like heavy or light weapons. You can put a big slow weapon on your light attack, you'll just have a smaller combo. So of course, since Platinum worked on this game and designed, the combat and everything, it does feel like a Platinum game. However, it's much more forgiving than most Platinum games are in terms of like dodging timing and combo structure. As far as I can tell, you don't really ever obtain new moves aside from leveling up a weapon, which will give you extra hits on a combo, but you don't like buy new attacks or anything like that.
Watch out for hostile enemies, 2B.
Roger that, 9...
Huh? Wait, what did you just say?
Roger that, 9S.
Wait, no, that's not what you said. You said 9s, or at least something close to.
Cut the chatter and engage the enemy.
Ah.
Alright, so Nines being his nickname that he tries to get 2B to call him early on, but she's like, yeah, no. So, right now 9S has just been essentially a AI helper for the game, but from what I understand, the way the structure works is you're meant to beat this game multiple times, but playing through you play as 3 different characters. So, you know, after you beat the first ending as 2B, you will play as 9S, and I believe you'll go through some of the same things, but also some separate things. And there's another playable character who I haven't even met yet. Also, any kind of complexity to the combat sort of goes away during these side sections. It can be a little hard to tell what you're actually doing. Okay, can I get back up where I jumped down? No. So I can't get to those upper areas right now. We got a dead player here. So when you find those, you can either revive them as a temporary ally, or you can just suck up whatever abilities they had equipped when they died for a couple seconds. Like, yeah, with those particle effects as you're hitting them and they blow up, it really makes it hard to tell what you're doing in these tight confines. Spear is a pretty good weapon for this right now, though. Especially because that dodge counter there hits all around you. So I hit both of the sides. Also, that shockwave that comes out of my attacks is actually an ability I have equipped. Using this, let's quickly look at this here, the chip system. Basically, you have sort of a, well, I was going to say inventory Tetris, but it's not even really that. It's just you have this system where you have a limited number of blocks and different abilities take up different amounts of blocks, and you can fuse them around to try to get them to use up less blocks for more power. Like this one has a little diamond, which means it uses up less power than one of the same level, but still has the same effect as to see these two here. And usually you only get those as rare drops from enemies. So there's a whole system there. You can see I already actually bought all of the space upgrades, so I have it maxed out. And from what I understand, that is the part that can really trivialize the combat in this game, is equipping really kind of overpowered chip setups. This is actually kind of a weird section to do this video on because of this fixed camera stuff, but I guess we are sort of going through a dungeon first. I really hate these guys. You can only hit them in their little glowing ball, but if you even touch them anywhere else, they just knock you back. So I'm not even going to bother trying to kill that guy. Hope this area is not too long. got these chests here, which I can't open, and they are everywhere, and I assume I either need another ability, or you just straight up need to be a different character to be able to open those. You never know, though, because apparently, like, there are these locked doors you will find around the map, and as far as I've seen, apparently those are actually just there as a Yoko Taro-style troll of the player, because you can never open them. Some of them will have a robot that will apologize for you not being able to open them and then explode. Please come into the camera so I can... I've been trying to avoid using the lock-on because I figure you're more likely to get better if you play without it, since you don't have it in the harder difficulties at all. But a spot like that... Oh. Weird that she had to send me those quest rewards from an earlier quest. Usually you just get them when you complete a mission. Alright, so that's another terminal, so that's another fast travel and save point. You can only save when you're around these things, as far as I can tell. I'm a little over-leveled for these guys, but that seems to kind of be the case with main story missions, since a lot of the side missions have higher leveled enemies in them. I mean, the one I just did, I had to fight a level 40 guy, and those aren't actually that hard, especially if you can dodge at all, but high-level enemies like that definitely just feel like a bit of a grind, because, you know, you spend like 10 minutes wailing on them, because they just have so much health. You also get health back every time you absorb a dead player, so that's worth doing just to top yourself up. Okay, we're getting close to the end of this castle here. Is this going to be the Forest King?
Is this their king?
Speaking of third playable character,
"2B, that's an android. A Yorha-type android."
Alert. This unit is currently wanted by Yorha. Annihilation recommended.
Annihilation? But why?
Let's go, 9S.
2B?
you can tell she's a Yorha android and not a regular android because she's all in
Bunker
black.
to 2B and 9S. We've picked up a signal from the black box of a fugitive known as A2. What you see in front of you is your enemy.
But she's...
She deserted us. She's destroyed multiple pursuit androids. Now kill her before she kills you.
Now I just want to point out that I have already killed 3 wanted Yorha fugitives, so this is not like the first time this has happened. The spear I'm using came from the one of the androids I fought. Alright, I guess we're just doing it. Okay, she can teleport across the arena. This is the first boss fight I've had that was 2D perspective. I want want to see if I can try to dodge that. Or dodge through that. I also have a auto heal chip equipped, so it'll use one of my healing items if I get too low. Handy thing to have, though. It only takes, a second to pop up that menu there.
Why? Why did you betray us?
Command is the one that betrayed you.
You can tell she's a rogue.
Let's go after her, 2B.
Because she doesn't have the blindfold anymore. Almost as if it's implying that she knows the truth while we are still blind.
She's gone.
Operator, this is 9S. Patch me through to the commander.
Roger that, 9S.
I'm sorry, Commander. We failed to defeat the fugitive.
I see. Well, at least you're both safe. That's an incredibly powerful unit you just faced. You should probably keep your distance in the future.
Commander, why did A2 desert the Force?
I'm afraid that's classified.
Oh? Huh. 2B,
Yeah?
let's go ask Pascal about A2. He might know something.
All right.
Pascal? This is
or we
9S.
could just call him, I guess.
Oh, you survived. How wonderful.
Yeah, we're fine. But there's something we want to ask you about.
Of course. Anything.
Actually, it needs to be in person.
Understood. I'll open the gate we built to deter enemy invaders. You'll be able to reach the village through there.
I'm actually curious where that gate is. Map. Okay. So there's Pascal's village. So the gate is across there. Alright. I could just warp there, but I would like to open the shortcut as well. Just in case. You never know if someday the transporters might suddenly stop working, since that's already happened at least once. Twice, actually. In a game like this, you can never be sure that things will stay the same. Yoko Taro is kind of known for throwing wrenches into the system.
That must be the gate Pascal opened for us.
We have been expecting you. Pascal told us about you. We will open the gate. Please pass through. We will continue to stand guard.
And these dead animals are here just to remind me of what I've done. But, I really needed that beast hide to upgrade my weapons. Also, if you're wondering, that valve in the back of 2B's head is not actually normally there. It's a equipable thing here. Like this ribbon. You can also, there's also a skin here for the pod, your little shooty robot. That turns it into Grimoire Weiss, or Weiss. which I believe pretty much did the same thing in the original NieR. He was your shooty magic book, in addition to actually being a character. I would say the pod is still a character in this, but a considerably less significant one. Alright, Pascal, what kind of intel do you got for me?
I'm surprised you wish to speak with me personally. Whatever is the matter?
It'll be faster if you just take a look at this recording.
I see. Information about this A2 android is indeed contained within our archives. We all understand her to be rather dangerous. However, she's never visited our village in person. My apologies. That's all the information I have.
I see. Alright, thanks.
Let's stay sharp and head back to the resistance camp. We should run a check on our consciousness data and resupply.
Yes, we have information in our archives. That information is that she might be dangerous. But yeah, in the early game you don't actually have access to this teleporter that transports to all these different save points, so you really have to hoof it around. Which is why it took me so long to complete some of these side quests.
9S, why did you ask Pascal about A2?
Huh?
It's not recommended to interface with machines without consulting command.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Though I suppose such intense curiosity can be admirable, in its own way.
Thanks, 2B.
Still, machines are the enemy. Don't forget it.
Machines are the enemy, except these ones that we've befriended. But they're totally still the enemy and we're gonna have to kill them all someday.
Pop.
Operator 60 to 2B. It is time for your regularly scheduled contact.
This is 2B. Nothing to report.
Listen, 2B. I was looking at images of flowers today and...
Flowers?
Yeah, there wasn't much left in the bunker's records, but I found one called a lunar tear.
I know
bet
exactly
it'd
where
look
that
really
is.
Nice if you put one of those in your hair, 2B. It'd suit your stylish looks.
Don't eat it.
Aw, don't be a stick in the mud. What kind of girl doesn't want to look good sometimes? I'll let you know if I find anything else cute, okay?
I don't need to hear about...
Operator 60 out.
I'm like 90% certain I've already seen one of those in the amusement park area. And I was like, this looks like a thing I could pick up. You couldn't at the time, though. Alright, an enemy.
Oh, 2B. Your timing is impeccable. Our android forces currently have a carrier deployed in the Pacific Ocean. It should be back here to resupply before too long. The Resistance is assisting with the mission, so I'd like to ask you to run a little guard duty.
Seriously?
Dead serious. There's a stockpile of missiles down at the shoreline that needs to be loaded on the carrier. And with all the machine activity lately, we need to stay on our toes. Of course, if you're already working on something for Yorha, I don't mind if that takes priority. Anyway, thanks in advance.
So there are no humans on Earth. These are all androids. They're just not Yorha fancy space androids. These are basically just androids who are stuck living down here with the machines. Alright, so I'm guessing a bunch more side quests will open up now that I completed the Forest King quest. Do I have enough to upgrade a pod yet? Nope. I don't even know where to find water and rubber here. I'm not doing that anytime soon. Let's go quickly do this one forest side quest, and then I'll start the other main quest, and then we'll be done. I won't actually do the whole other quest, I'll start it. But yeah, I just generally have been enjoying this so far. I mean, the story hasn't gone anywhere too much yet, but again, I haven't put that much time into the story, and in order to get the full length of the story, there are 5 endings to get. And then like 30 joke endings that don't really count.
I know it's our job and all, but these resistance types sure do use and abuse us, don't they? It's like they see us as a couple of gophers or something.
No complaining about your work. Exchanging information with the Resistance is a vital part of our mission. Besides, being a gopher is safer than being locked in combat all the time. Not dying beats dying any day.
Yeah, that's true.
Except our gopher mission is to go kill a bunch of robots, so that doesn't really apply here. Also, death is not that significant for androids, or at least it's survivable because they can transfer their consciousness out of their current body. And like apparently those transporter machines you get in to fast travel, those actually deconstruct the current body and build a new one at the exit point. Hey friend, did you hear all them rumors about that place with the trees and the bushes and the leaves and the castle built by the first Machine King and the big old treasure? What's in there behind locked doors or gates or moats or whatnot, and you wonder what could be, and boy howdy, I'd love to find out and see for myself, you know? Don't you know? Alright. A little odd. Where is this quest zone? Nope. Something very helpful I realized is you can go to map icons and go to quest destinations. You can actually just individually look at them instead of wandering around the map. So I'm looking for... What am I looking for here? Camp development. Over there, where is that? That is... Oh, that's the entrance to the forest. What is this area? Oh, that's the village. Alright, gotta turn around. Go this way. Also, it's worth pointing out that playing this on PC, there has been zero support for this game, not a single patch since release to fix any of the various problems it's had. However, like with a lot of these Japanese games getting PC releases, fans have stepped in and released a patch specifically referred to as the Fixed Automata Resolution patch, which has more or less prevented me from running into any specific problems. I mean, there are some frame issues here and there that shouldn't really happen, and I'm sure are even noticeable in this video, but for the most part I've found it's actually not giving me too much trouble now that I've installed this patch. It's just a shame that, I mean, on the one hand, yeah, it's a shame that Japanese developers aren't really able to release games without issue very often. I mean, the only one that kind of sometimes is okay is Capcom, and even that's like a 50-50 gamble for every single game they release on PC. But at the same time, it's nice that we're actually getting these games with PC releases these days from Japan. You know, with Sega porting some of their old stuff like Valkyria Chronicles and some of the other Platinum games. So it's nice that we're actually getting more stuff on PC, even if it doesn't always work. Of course, I'd still prefer that, you know, it just worked. But I mean, like, if you look at, like, From Software, Dark Souls, really only the first one was the one that had those sorts of issues, Dark Souls 2 and 3 pretty much work fine out of the box. Though I think that's partially because they might have conferred with the person who did the Dark Souls fan patch. But still, that's, you know, why wouldn't they do that if it means they can release a game without problems? So yeah, all in all, I'm glad that we are getting these PC games, even if they are janky ports. And even like, if you look at coming out later this month, is it this month? It might actually be next month, I'm not sure now, but the second Ni no Kuni game is getting a PC release, which again, the first one never did. It was a PS3 exclusive, so it's definitely a nice trend. What do you want? This machine has a thing for animals, hence the name Animal Loving Machine. I fixed his moose. Everyone here is fine. That's the other thing, there are so many side quests popping up that you go to do one side quest and you end up with 4 more. Which is surprising. I mean, I knew this game was sort of open-worldy. Well, sort of. I mean, it is really an open world. I just didn't realize there'd actually be so many quests to do in it.
So it's okay to kill some animals, but not others? Seems kind of arbitrary, no?
We have no right to judge. We're soldiers that were created to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were soldiers who were created to kill machines like the one we're helping here. Man, really digging this spear stun lock they do. So now, where are we relative to these quests? Okay, we're getting closer to the camp. And the... Oh, right, I forgot I set that down there. I guess I have to jump down in that ravine to get that quest. 3 or 4... Okay, that's back the way we came, so forget about that. It's nice how you don't have to mine any of this ore, it's just lying around everywhere for some reason. I think it even says in the description for one of the ores that it's like, but for some reason it is found lying around everywhere.
Don't let up! The enemy is among us!
Don't let any intruder get in!
We must protect our king!
I mean, you guys don't even have a king anymore. There's no baby robot to protect. As you can see there, you can combine your weapons mid-combo. Like, because I have a spear, I can do light, heavy, and then do like a swing the heavy weapon on your light spear. Oh, that's cool. I'll just stay stun locked. This seems like a job for 2 hammers. Never mind, I missed. So that's on cooldown now. Well, that's new. I haven't seen them do that before. drop the chip. It looks like there's a little bit of platform or something up there. No idea how I'd get to it.
Don't let up. Intruders detected. Overlords, give your lives for the king of the forest.
I actually don't know what I was getting hit by there. Just because there's also fishing, and there isn't really any complexity to it, but it's basically just another thing to collect, because every time you catch a new fish, you get some fish lore. These friggin' killifish, they're so tiny. But yeah, like, look how long this paragraph about machine fish is. About how apparently these machine fish were designed to kill off real fish so that humans would run out of food. But now they are left to adapt to the ecosystem and form their own niches. You can also ride these moose, but usually there doesn't seem much of a reason to. Alright, so this quest marker is down here, so can I... Oh, I didn't even realize there was a path down here. There is fall damage, and when you start falling, she will go into, like, full-on, well, I'm falling position, and fall really fast. I guess I can just float down. It's okay, they have different colored eyes. Though this guy has yellow eyes, which are
Machines
neither
attacking indiscriminately.
friendly nor hostile.
Proposal. Unit 2B should eliminate the hostile machines.
Oh, actually, I know where this is. Yeah, this connects to an area I fell down into before. And there were a bunch of high-level machines down here. I mean, if I could beat them before, they're not much trouble now. I don't actually use the pod attack very much. I mean, as you might expect, it's not very strong. It's mostly there to hit things like flying targets, but you can also use it to shoot enemy bullets out of the air. Okay, grab that. Titanium alloy, I do need some of that. But yeah, generally I found that...
Is this some kind of graveyard?
that even though the combat isn't very complex, it's generally pretty enjoyable. And I'm not as terrible at it as I would expect. I guess some of that previous platinum
Watch
experience
out.
has
They're
actually
still
rubbed
alive.
off.
I'm on it. There's
Another
more.
one of you guys, eh?
Kill such pain. Kill me.
What's it saying?
Don't listen to it, 2B.
Kill, please. Kill,
Alright, well, I guess he's not gonna be friendly.
please kill me.
So again, because this enemy is such a high level, fighting it is basically just a really long grind because you do reduce damage to it. So I think I'll come back to that one. I know there is certain points of no return where you won't be able to do side quests again, but you can also save those side quests for future playthroughs, or future runs, I guess. As in, you can still do the same quest later when you're playing as a different character. Alright, is there a transporter here? I guess I'll teleport to... Well, actually, let me check something here. Quests... Active quests... Which one of these is the main quest right now? Didn't actually see one listed. Map icons. Current destination show on map. Because I remember I checked, and carrier escort, whenever that is, which, you know, she was already talking about, is a point of no return for all the side quests before it. Can I not get up here? There we go. I might not actually be able to get back up this way. So I might actually be already there. So is that just a seam in the world over there? No, there is actually something behind it. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like you're not supposed to try and climb back up here. But you can. Alright. I'll just show a little fishing here. Nope, didn't want to ride the moose.
Commencing fishing.
Basically all you do is you throw the thing in the water, and then when it goes under like that, you tap A.
Catch confirmed.
That's about
Complete.
it. There's no real way to catch specific fish, aside from certain ones only appear in certain areas, but a lot of the time you'll just have to sit there and hope eventually you catch the one you're trying to get for your completion.
We must settle our foes when we royal knights are made of. We must settle.
So yeah, that quick save button is only there when you're in range of one of these transfer points. I actually can't tell if this one is underground or not. think it's actually above. Nothing down here but a bunch of dead aliens. This whole area used to be part of the city, but there's a certain point where it collapses.
There sure are a lot of hostile enemies here. Why are some machines so aggressive, while others couldn't care less about us?
Oh, there's a tunnel here. I believe this wasn't here before. Or it was closed off. So let's see where this leads, and then we'll call it, because going a little long as usual. I wonder if this sewer has different kind of garbage for me to catch. Because I caught some tires and a rocket launcher in the last one. So this must be the flooded city, then? I know that that's one of the areas I haven't been to because it's listed in one of the earlier side quests. Stop storing all of your movies on the Bunker Cloud server, where we keep all of our mission files. Bet there's plenty of new fish here. Tanning agent, that's new.
Huh, that's new.
Hey, that's my line.
Enemy detected. Go. Show no mercy. Glory to machine-like forms.
Engaging. Hot, analyze the enemy.
This guy apparently has infinite health. This tiny, unkillable robot.
The bedrock here was bombed out in the last war. Looks like the whole city is starting to sink as a result.
Does he just have a shit ton more health because he's gold? Not me to jump off there. this missile pod works really good for those flying guys, but
Target missile sighted.
Is that what we need to protect?
it's a little too slow otherwise. Oh, the chicken robot.
Let's take him out already so I can be home in time for dinner and a bath.
Androids don't need to bathe. As long as you perform regular cleaning and maintenance, bathing is unnecessary.
Yeah, but come on, 2B. It still feels good.
Some enemies can get a little bullet helly with projectiles like that. Usually the bosses.
I think that's the last of the machines.
2B, 9S, come in.
Commander?
Emergency orders incoming. The carrier ship that was set to resupply has come under attack. It's currently being engaged by a swarm of machines. I've asked all Yorha troops in the city ruins for assistance, and I'll need you to provide backup as well. I'm sending flight units and coordinates now. Good luck. Out.
Alright, so I guess that's the escort the carrier mission that is point of no return.
You see? Total slave driver. Whoopsh.
If she didn't order others around, what kind of leader would she be?
If you say so.
Alright, well, I believe that will do it for NieR Automata. I know it's Automata, but I like to say it like Automatopoeia. And yeah, generally I've been enjoying it so far. The music's good, the combat's fun enough, and the story is interesting. So, all in all, I'm glad I'm playing it. Anyhow, take care everyone.